As a society, we have been duped and lied to. In fact, the very realities of Earth's bounty and natural healing have been criminalized and then hidden from us. But one piece of the silver lining in the COVID scam was that this was all exposed, and now we return to learning from each other and reconstituting natural health and natural approaches, our God given right. Let's learn together. This is the Dr. Jane Ruby Show, and you're about to enter Truth in Medicine. Welcome to the Dr. Jane Ruby Show on this Friday, January 12th, 2024. I hope you're all getting off to a good start in this new year, that you're focused on putting the learnings and the revelations of 2023 to good use. I've encouraged you to learn more about the many ways that you can take back control over your lives, and one of those areas is in your health and well-being. I've encouraged you to identify things like food cooperatives in your area and small farmers in order to protect yourselves from big pharma, big chemical, and big everything else tainting our food supply. Many of them are springing up all over in your communities, whether you know it or not. You just have to look for them and connect with them. Well, Jonah Bolt is the founder of the Loxahatchee Co-op here in South Florida. It's a combination of a local and national co-op, and I've asked Jonah to come back to the show to share more of his knowledge and the opportunities for all of you to learn more about controlling your own health. And Jonah joins me now. Jonah, welcome back. Now, the last time you were here, we had an incredible outpouring of response from the public, I want you to know. I know you also did at the co-op, and certainly I saw it across my social media. People are open and hungry for information and education on how to take care of themselves. So welcome and hi, great to have you back. Yeah, and I'm excited for today's topics because you're going to get into an incredible substance, methylene blue. I want to learn more about it for our health. Before we do, just a couple of minutes, if you could just share a little bit of information for everybody's basic understanding. A couple of areas, the private membership association, what that means, why it's important, and that applies to anybody in there across the nation, and how you are actually you ship nationally, your customers are national, but if we're lucky like I am to have you down in South Florida, we can also shop directly here. So let's start with a few minutes there and before we get into the methylene blue.
And what we've been doing is going to local farmers. And as you know, in South Florida, there's not a lot of them. So we have to pretty much go to places even as far as Jacksonville, Okeechobee and Indiantown. And what we started doing is just networking with the local farmers about what they have in terms of like eggs and meats. And we've also been working with fishermen for wild caught fish and bringing it all together under one roof, because as your listeners know, we just don't trust the stores anymore. We don't trust Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or Sprouts. You know, it's my opinion, all of that has been compromised, and that's a whole nother show of what's going on. But we've learned that it's all compromised, you know, whether it's appeal or whatever's going on. So we had to just source our food ourselves. We go to the ranches ourselves. We meet the ranchers. We take pictures. We make sure there's no vaccines, no hormones, no antibiotics. And we started bringing all that in. In terms of grains, we started looking for countries besides America that sell grains that have a total ban on Monsanto, herbicides, pesticides, GMOs, things like that. So a lot of our grains come from Turkey, Uzbekistan. There's only 22 countries left in the world. So we ship our grains all over the world. We don't ship the meats, of course, but grains we ship everywhere. And we've been doing a lot of grain deliveries this last, couple months. And it's the name of the game. Eat clean food and detox. Right now in this toxic world, those are the two main things that our family focuses on, and I'm sure your listeners do as well. So that's what the co-op is. And what we formed is a PMA. It's a private member association. What that means is we don't report things to the state, to the government. This is under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. We don't keep track of what you buy from us. So families come in, they buy 500 pounds of food, they buy 1,000 pounds of food. Like in New York, they're tracking people who buy meat right now. Unfortunately, this is the world that's forming around us. So we have taken these measures to make sure what you buy from us when you shop here. And if you're local, if you're in South Florida, and we've had people drive in from Orlando, we've had, Sarasota, people driving in all over the state to come here because there's really not another crop in South Florida. And we're all organic. Everything is organic, grass-fed, grass-finished meats. And our grains are all non-GMO, 100% organic. And you could taste the difference in our food. It's quite amazing when you actually eat rice that's organic.
I'll
You've
agree
never had
with that.
rice like this.
I'll agree with
You've
that.
had it. You've had it.
It tastes
So
like real rice. It's incredible. It fills the house when you cook it. It's
yes.
wonderful. So what's the importance of the private membership association? Is that what makes it legal under the 14th Amendment? Because you're not a retail store. You're not
Correct.
selling, to the public,
Correct.
right?
We only sell to our members. It's like a Costco membership. So to shop here, you
Okay.
have to have a membership, which is low as $25. You can get it on the website.
For the
And
year. For the year.
For the year,
Okay.
correct. For the year, it's $100 for families. If you're low income or disabled or a veteran, it's $25, and it's $250 for a lifetime membership. And that just means that you
Wow.
can come here and shop and just see
That's
our store.
reasonable.
We have everything from bamboo toilet paper to organic cleaning supplies. We're basically getting everything we need because we don't trust the stores. Even like Mayors, a lot of people buy Mayors, the organic, cleaning supplies from Whole Foods and stuff. Mayors is owned by Johnson and Johnson.
Oh,
Everything in the store is compromised. I don't just mean that. Mayors was a family-run business. Johnson and Johnson bought them out. So you could just imagine what Johnson and Johnson is now putting in Mayors cleaning supplies. So,
sure.
listen, we were using that stuff up till like 6 months ago, and then we learned about Mayors. It's like one by one, we're just researching and doing our due diligence to find out the truth that pretty
Sure.
much everything you get in the stores is not what you think it is.
Okay. I want to take another couple of minutes and pick your brain a little bit because these questions came in. So I want to be really responsive to the audience.
Sure.
A number of people wrote in and said, next time Joan is on the show, could you ask him to talk about what, like maybe your daily supplement regimen, you and your family, and talk about them? And if you have them there, how do
Sure. So, two of the main supplements, which we'll get into later today, is 100% the methylene blue and 100% our full spectrum hemp oil. And I know people hearing that will probably say, oh, I've tried CBD and I've tried hemp. It's not like what we have. And I'll explain that later. What we have, they do not sell in dispensaries. They do not sell in public anywhere I've seen. And I'll get into that later. But those two are my to-go-to. On top of that, honestly, everything you see on the website is what we consume. But if I had to pick two more, it's the wild plant enzymes, which is 100 different wild plants and enzymes I get from South Korea, all organic. It's fermented for 5 years. It's an amazing, like a sweet red wine. And that's to rebuild your microbiome. They've destroyed our stomach through food. And this rebuilds your microbiome. It's 1 billion live pro and prebiotics and enzymes per ml. It's the most concentrated live enzymes I've been able to find anywhere on the planet. We get it from South Korea. That's amazing to rebuild your microbiome. A lot of people come to us at IBS. They don't go to the bathroom. It's the only thing that maybe go to the bathroom twice a day or more is this product. And another great one I would recommend is our fulvic minerals. That's great for heavy metal detoxing, the fulvic minerals. Fulvic minerals is just super. It attaches to aluminum, barium, all the stuff that they're getting up from up there. It attaches to it and transmutes it into a tetrahedron and flushes it out the body. So that's something also we cycle off on. We don't take this stuff every single day. We go through periods. We take blue for a month or two. We take this for a month or two. You can take everything at once. And at the beginning, we recommend that. But the quantum protocol, the quantum detox, you'll see on our website are the two to-go-tos for people. It's to detox the blood, detox the organs, and then keep all the nano stuff out of you, which we'll get into. That's what the blue does.
One quick helpful clarification. There are two websites. There is an overarching website I'm going to put up on the screen, quantumcollective.world. That's everything, your entire program. So that's going to be fascinating to people. And then this one for the store, which is for people all over the country as well as locally. It's Loxahatchee Co-op.
Loxahatchee Co-op, or Lox Co-op is even easier.
Okay.
That one is basically, like you said, it's for the local people.
See it on the screen.
We can't, ship stuff like that. So Lox Co-op is for your local people here. And then your quantumcollective.world is where you get all of our products. You get everything. So that's the site for everyone to go to.
Okay. They can look around both of them depending on where they are. Okay.
Yes.
let's get into, I'm fascinated by this methylene blue. It's such a beautiful royal blue. Let's
Yes.
start from the beginning a little bit and then take us through you've got a great series of slides we're going to share as you walk us through them. But just a minute or two on the overview. What is it? Where does it come from? Why is it so beautifully blue?
Sure. Yeah. So, we found out about methylene blue because people were coming to us wanting to detox the shot.
Mm,
So at the beginning, we started doing a lot of research, and I stumbled upon methylene blue. The color of it is the royal blue. It's actually the rarest color in nature is this royal blue.
mm,
Peacocks have it. Very few animals in nature have it. And it does something to the body. It allows more photons, more light to come into the body, which is really helpful, especially because they're spraying a lot, they're dimming the sun, they're trying to anyways. So
yeah,
more light absorption is super healthy for the body. It's a photosynthesizer, methylene blue.
I see.
So we started taking it ourselves. We started giving it to friends and family. And during my research, I found out the different grades of methylene blue, and that's important for people to understand. There's
Hmm.
6 different types of methylene blue. You have your basic one, which is a lot of stuff on Amazon. And I'm going to say this now, and I don't say it lightly. Don't get stuff from Amazon, especially methylene blue. You could write anything you want on the box. So when people go to Amazon, they see, oh, it's pharmaceutical grade and blah, 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 blah. It's just like hemp. There's no regulation in this industry. You could
Okay.
write whatever you want on the box. Be careful.
Right.
We've tested a lot of them. We found arsenic in a lot of them, and a lot of blue comes from India and China. So be super, super careful. Ours is lab tested here in the US. So we know the source, we know where it comes from. And it's the highest grade out of the 6. It's the crystalline, sparkly, really, really high grade. And that's what we have in our product. And you could see in our reviews on our website, the testimonials, it's a whole nother level of blue. People have tried other companies and they always come back to us and say, you guys have the best. And I believe we do. I'm sure there's other companies out there I haven't seen, but from what we've seen, we have the best, and you feel it. And I'll show some slides
Okay.
here, I think, after break that will explain it more of what it does to the
So
body, for the body.
it can probably enhance. I don't like to say remove the shot because we don't. That's a genetic embedment, but
Yes.
all the negative effects of it and the antigen production and all that, you can keep your
Yes.
body at least running well and maybe avoid some issues with it. So that's the purpose. So take us into we've got about 8 or 10 minutes in this segment. We're going to continue through the whole second segment, so we're not going to miss anything. But start us on this little journey of education on the methylene blue.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm just gonna, pull up some slides here, and I sent them to you to go over it with everybody. And it's really important. This is really exciting stuff. Dr. Jane, like what we're talking about today is really groundbreaking stuff because this methylene blue has been around for 160 years.
Wow.
So I'm going to show this first study here. It's a PubMD on NIH, National Library of Medicine, because a lot of left brain people want to see this stuff. Where's the proof? Show me the data. So here's a great study. It talks about in 2019, the coronavirus was making its way around the world. And this study, I have it circled in red, is that we propose that methylene blue is a promising drug for treatment of COVID-19. Now, I'll stop right there. Methylene blue is not a drug. It's a salt, and it's
Ah,
synthesized from the wild indigo plant, which is highly poisonous. So they had to synthesize it in the lab into a salt. So they call it a drug in these studies because that's basically what they have to call it. But all drugs stem from plants, just so people know.
okay.
Like Valium stems from a valerian root. They synthesize valerian root, and that makes Valium. All pharmaceutical drugs come from plants. That's where they discover them. That's where they synthesize them. And that's where methylene blue comes from, the wild indigo plant. So they
Okay.
talk about drugs in these studies. It's not a drug, it's a salt, just so people are very clear.
Okay.
And it says in there that this report shows and talks about that it has antiviral effects of SARS-CoV-2 and a potential interest in methylene blue to treat COVID-19. So this study that came out, you can see the date here in 2020, talks about and shows how methylene blue can actually be a treatment for COVID-2. And it's really a treatment for any viruses. It's phenomenal.
Hmm.
This next study I'll show you is another NIH study. It says antiviral photodynamic therapy, inactive and inhibitor of COVID-2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what that means is that methylene blue allows more light to come into the body. Like an old remedy, when you're sick or not feeling good, you go out and get sun, right? And the sun is healing. You get minerals from it and vitamins from it. That's what methylene blue also does. It allows the body to absorb vitamins and minerals naturally, even from any type of light. So even if you're in wintertime and you can't get to the sun, it's cloudy, you could still be in any type of light, a light bulb or any type of light, and allows the body to absorb light, which is super, super important. And it shows here, it was found that methylene blue also possesses significant antiviral activity. So what methylene blue does, and this is really important, it does not allow viruses to attach to your immune receptors. You cannot get sick on this stuff. None of us have been sick in COVID. My wife, our friends, anyone taking the blue, you literally cannot get sick. We have people that have a very famous gym that trains mixed martial arts people in Denver, Colorado. And when they started taking the blue, they literally said they felt like a force field around them. So we've learned from your show and from other shows, like there's shedding going on that people are worried about. And we've noticed that too, when you're around people that have all been vaxxed and then you get away from them, you start feeling like the symptoms of you getting sick. You just take a bunch of blue and literally within an hour or two, and I've experienced it myself, it's knocked out of my system. I had to start getting an itchy throat. I started getting like hot flashes. I took 20 drops of the blue and literally within an hour or two, it knocked out of my system. I felt totally fine the next day. And everyone else that does that protocol as well will report the same thing. So it literally shields you from getting sick. And also, and in my opinion, based on the studies, from the shedding that's going on.
Okay. And so let's talk about dosages for a minute, with the caveat at the end of every one of my shows, people know there's a medical disclaimer. We're not practicing medicine. We do not have a patient provider relationship. You're explaining what you've done with your family, your friends, and what you have found in your research and all that. So with that said, and these are not recommendations, but 5 to 10 drops if you're going to do a month of just general wellness and detox, but you said perhaps 20 drops at the first sign of any kind of cold, flu, illness of that sort, right? Okay.
Correct. Yeah. And, the good news is like you said, we're not doctors, know your body, do your own research. I always encourage people, but the good news is that there's no side effects of this. You can't, you can't like take too much and get hurt. It's been around for 160 years. It was made in 1850. It was the first actual medicine in America. So that's how long it's been around. Wow. It's a safe substance. Every hospital in America has methylene blue in the emergency room. If you get bit by a snake or monoxide poisoning, yes, they inject you with methylene blue. So every doctor watching this, that's a doctor or a nurse in the emergency room, knows methylene blue. So every hospital has it.
Interesting.
It's a safe substance. Yeah. So they inject you actually. And there's doctors here in South Florida that do methylene blue drips. You can get a drip of methylene blue here in Boca Raton. I know a doctor as an example. So it's a super safe substance. So,
okay. But people can call you and get
absolutely.
Connected
our on the site.
If they want.
People all the time.
Because this is a private, group. Okay.
Correct.
All right, great. So I didn't mean to interrupt. So please continue.
Yes. So, just general health and detox, also what methylene blue, which is really amazing. And I could show this in the second part of the interview, is it literally, and we have blood samples that show this, helps pull toxins out of the cells and out of the blood.
Okay.
And cleans it out and flushes it out. And we sent samples to a nurse who had a microscope, and she did a couple slides for us with vaccinated, unvaccinated blood. And it showed some remarkable, imagery that shows it pulls even the hydrogel together out of the blood. Dr. Mikovits from Russia, she also was just on a few shows showing the same blood samples that we got as well. So this is not just us that's showing this. There's a lot of doctors showing what methylene blue does. It's the only thing that crosses the blood-brain barrier and can pull nano-sized material out of your body. This is the only thing in the world that
Where is that trial?
Yeah, so if you're looking right now on the screen, this is a slide 3. This is a clinical study, a clinical trial on methylene blue. And basically it says the primary outcome of this study is to calculate the percentage of participants with negative chain reaction tests to SARS-CoV-2 and methylene blue. So they gave all these test subjects, humans, methylene blue. And what they showed also is just after 3 hours that the methylene blue started to detox the body. And this is a clinical study. Now, they don't show this, but this was done in Russia. Russia does some great studies.
Yeah, but it is on our US clinicaltrials.gov. So it was registered.
It is on ours too. We did a study as well. So I show both those slides.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And this, the next study that I'm showing here is another great study on scientific reports that also shows methylene blue, that is an FDA approved substance. It was FDA approved for malaria. It actually cures malaria. It's the
And
first
I'm so
synthesized
sorry,
medicine.
Jonah. Is this you got to number them? Is this slide 4?
Yes, this is the one, two, three. This is the fifth slide.
Is this slide 5? Okay.
Yes, slide
Gotcha.
5.
Thank
Methylene
you.
blue has a potent antiviral activity. And this is a super important one too. And again, these studies are just to teach people that what I'm saying today is backed up by this. We're not just talking. I've learned all this from different studies and pieced it together, how important this is. No studies say what I'm saying, but I've pieced them all
Okay.
together from these different ones.
Why don't we take a break here, and we'll come back with the rest of the methylene blue presentation. This has been a great beginning, and so I want people to stay with us. You don't want to miss the second segment. Jonah's going to get into it, and you'll learn where you can how you can get it through his organization. So we will be right back.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
I'm Dr. Jane Ruby, and I want to introduce you to the incredible shungite products from Modern OM. This rare 2 billion year old mineral comes from ancient deposits in Russia, guards against harmful EMF radiation, possesses unparalleled antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties, and purifies air and water. It boosts energy, aids in relieving stress, and balances your body and mind. Let me show you a couple of items that I'm particularly excited about. There's the Sphere, which is especially made for the bedroom. Better sleep. The Cube for your office. It has grounding properties. And of course, one of my personal favorites, the Pyramid, which is for the more active areas in your life. And I've been blown away by the personal hygiene products like the Recharge Bar. Vitamin and mineral rich, detoxifying, hydrating. They smell amazing. And don't forget the individual pieces, multiple pieces you can put on your computer and your iPads to protect you from the inescapable EMF every day. So check it out today at modernom.co/Ruby or click on the link below. Welcome back to the second segment of the show tonight. We are talking with Jonah Bolt, the founder of the Loxahatchee Co-op and Quantum Collective here in South Florida, and the broader program. As I said, Quantum Collective is the national website. In the first segment, we talked about personal health supplements and the advantages of being part of your community co-op. In this second segment, I've asked Jonah to give all of us a little bit more of a presentation on this health-promoting substance, methylene blue, which is incredibly fascinating to me. So, Jonah, take it away.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Jane. And I just want to say too, if you are local in the area and you'd like to join our co-op, please come by and check us out. And, even if you're out of the area, you can contact us. And we are working on phase 2, which is building a totally off-grid sustainable community for our food supply. So if you do have any interest in being part of that, we're looking at 320 acres here to build an off-grid, totally sustainable community using, thermal power and wind and stuff like that. So, the big thing is securing our food and detoxing, like we're talking in the show today.
Sure.
And the big picture is to be off-grid and out of this system. So if you have any interest, and being in one of these communities that we're developing, please contact us as well. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and I can tell people there is a lot of excitement about it, both locally and nationally. People have called in. If I can disclose, it was at a meeting recently with you, and met a lot of people in the community that get it and that are a part of it. So, okay, back to methylene blue, Joan. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, in these communities, the tagline is this: once you're in, you're in. There's no more electric bills, no more water bills, no more food bills, no educational bills. Once you're in one of our communities, that is it. And that's how this is set up. So if you have interest in, getting out of your state or being in one of these communities, contact us, because those are the communities we're developing and building this year. So it's
good
really
to know.
exciting.
Good to know. And that's the true definition of a cooperative community.
Yes.
And you're insulated.
Yes, you want to come in, you don't want to keep paying bills for rent and electric and stuff like that and mortgages. That's not how these communities are designed. Everybody puts in with the community. We have the business up and running, which is the co-op. So it's really exciting to actually see this come to fruition. We've been planning this out for years, and we're breaking ground this year. So
good. Okay.
Super exciting.
Glad you gave everybody that overview of that. Okay. So back to methylene blue.
So back to the blue. So I'm going to show the sixth slide here. Methylene blue photochemical treatment as a reliable COVID-2 plasma virus inactivation method for blood safety. So this is another report that I found that talks about how methylene blue makes viruses ineffective. Super, super important. This one was on BMC infectious disease website. I'm going to go to the next slide here, and you could pause it and read through this, and I've highlighted different things.
Okay.
This one is another article from BNC. I just went down a little bit, which talks about the wavelength combining with methylene blue and what it does. Light is health. Light is energy, and methylene blue allows light to come in. So when you take your blue, we would recommend that you go out in the sun, get some sun. If you have the infrared light beds, that's amazing too. The infrared, light therapy beds that are popping up all over. You really will feel a difference to allow the light to come in. Yes. So this is slide 9, and this is BX-1 and methylene blue photochemical method for inactivation of SARS-CoV-2. These studies are showing that methylene blue inactivates viruses. It does not allow viruses to attach to your immune receptors. So again, you can see how quickly this works. In this study, methylene blue was added. Blue light was applied for 40 minutes. That talks about the control group. They also did a 3-passage cell blind transmission. Super, super technical stuff, and I'm not going to go into it. But again, this is just backing up what we're saying on your show today. This is the data to back it up.
Awesome.
This is study 11. Study 11, another one from Frontiers in Pharmacology, another great report. Methylene blue inhibits SARS-CoV-2 and the spike proteins. So this one's specific on spike proteins and how it inhibits it from spreading. So again, like you said earlier, this is not a fix for getting the jab. That stuff is rewriting your DNA.
No, but it could save your life and give you a more normal life.
Yes, and people that have gotten it, that are taking this, are feeling way better. We have one of our co-op owners that had the jab, and she was collapsing, blacking out. Since she's been on the blue and our hemp oil, she is phenomenal. She's feeling great again. She's feeling like herself. So that's the good news about this stuff, is that it does make a big difference for people that have gotten the shot. Absolutely. And I'll jump a little lower here to Frontiers. This is slide number 11. You could see also about the spike protein and how it inhibits SARS-CoV-2. And then I'll jump to the bottom part of this study, which is slide 12. And you'll see that it also identifies the co-signaling in the body. So what this means is that methylene blue actually can add and take away electrons. It does co-signaling, which is amazing for the body. It's like methylene blue knows what the body needs. It can give and it can take, which is very rare for anything to do. So this is super important for people to understand. It doesn't interact with medications. It doesn't have side effects. It's like it knows the body, and some people have called it, many doctors have called this the God molecule because of how it behaves in the human body. It's super, super weird, to say it bluntly, of how this methylene blue substance interacts with the body. But here's just some studies to show that it's like it knows what to do. And then this slide is your number 13 slide, which is the bottom of the study here, which also shows, not to get too technical, but the breakdown chemically of everything. And then I want to jump to this last study that I'm going to show here.
When you say the breakdown, is there a chemical composition to methylene blue, or?
Yeah, so all things are chemical breakdowns, and by chemical I'm meaning methylene blue is a salt. That's how they make it. They produce it in a lab into a salt, and this salt has a molecular structure to it. So if you look at slide 14, which I'll show on the screen here,
okay,
it says we're able to show that methylene blue inhibits the entry of pseudoviruses bearing SARS-CoV-2 spike protein into expression cells.
Now, let me say something, Jonah. Let me interject. Pseudovirus. Okay, so that is referring to the synthetic in silico designed virus. This argument of there's a virus, there's no virus. Look, they create these gain of function organisms that are mimickers of what a virus would do, which is a leech. Really, it's a non-cell. It's okay. So this is fascinating
because
bioweapon,
people have called it. Whatever it is, if it's attacking your immune system, methylene blue does not allow it to do that. That's why I'm showing all these studies. It's phenomenal what this stuff does.
Well, I thought it was important to interrupt you only because it's specifically talking about the synthetic, not the wild coronavirus, but it'll protect you from that, according to the clinical studies. But this is showing, because I was going to ask you, what effect does it have? The body doesn't even know what this synthetic virus is that they did in the gain of function. Two bioweapons, the organism that made enough people sick to get your attention, and then the shot was the real bioweapon. But this is fascinating here.
Yes.
And
and this is the last slide I'll show from Frontiers in Pharmacology, and it ends with this, and I'll end with the slides. More importantly, our results indicate that methylene blue on an organic dye, again, it's a salt, it's organic, it's not a drug, in clinical use for therapeutic applications in the developed world, and it cites some case studies, can inhibit the viral attachment of entry of SARS-CoV-2. So it's telling you right there, blocking the PPI of its spike protein with ACE2 on the host cells.
Wow.
It shields you. It shields you from the shedding. It shields you from getting sick. You cannot get sick on this stuff, in my opinion, and we've experienced it ourselves, and so have our members and our friends and family. You will not get sick on this stuff. Here's the studies that show it. They're saying it right there. It's not me saying it. These are the studies showing the proof that in laboratories and in clinical studies like we showed today, this stuff works.
Jonah,
but you have to get the real stuff.
Okay, can I ask you, was anybody using this in 2020 or thinking about it in 2019 when we thought there was a looming real pandemic, or when people started to get sick? Were you using it? Were you aware of it then?
No. I found out about it just shortly after 2020 when I was doing research to find out how to detox and stop the spike protein factories that have been now producing all these spike proteins from the shots.
Okay.
And that's how I found out about this. And then we could dovetail into our hemp oil, and why the hemp oil is really important supplement too.
Yeah.
Those two things, the blue and the hemp. And when I mean hemp, I'm talking about this. This is the black gold. This is what they don't sell in dispensaries. And I just want to say this to your listeners. Think about this logically. Common sense. Do you think that the FDA and the government is going to allow medical marijuana dispensaries to sell stuff that cures things? And if they do, shouldn't we hear about miracles like people saying in your friends, hey, I had cancer, I got a medical marijuana card, I went through dispensary, and now I'm cancer free? You would think you would hear those stories, right? But I haven't heard anything like that. So again, common sense. CBD and medical marijuana, in my opinion, is a total scam. They're just selling stuff to get you high. They're not selling the real medicine like we sell, which is derived from hemp. And that's really important for people to understand, because CBD is sold in gas stations now. I mean, it helps with things, but it will never fix the problem. And that's what we want to do. So the methylene blue and the hemp oil that we sell, the real hemp oil, are the two to go tos, because hemp oil keeps the body in homeostasis. It's the only thing in the world that does that. And I just want to show the backup for what I'm saying. A quick slide.
Yeah. No, don't rush. We're good on time. I want people to
Great.
see this.
Yeah, this slide is an original article. It's from 2002 from Israel.
And
That
slide number?
is the endocannabinoid system study put out by Israel in 2002. And just to give a brief background, everything in your body is run by the endocannabinoid system. So your endocannabinoid system, if you're not getting cannabinoids, they're responsible for keeping neurodegenerative diseases from happening. So I want to show slide number 2, which is the WHO report. And you could see a list of the WHO that shows all the different diseases that they're saying help by CBD and full spectrum hemp oil like we have. But you could see all the different, cancer, anxiety, inflammation disease, which is the root of most diseases, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. And then I want to show patent number 1. This patent you can no longer find on the internet. They've changed it. Good thing I ripped it. But this patent, you could see on here and read the abstract of what it says. It says, in the treatment of degenerative neurodiseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, HIV, dementia. This is a patent that says this stuff helps reverse everything neurodegenerative. And we've had people with Parkinson's and just amazing studies. Even Hippocrates Health Institute, which is voted the top health institute in the world here in Palm Beach County. We were the only hemp oil they let in after a 2-year vetting process of 63 companies. We were the only ones that let in. So I literally had my hemp oil in 4 hospitals in South Florida, in Orlando Pharmacy. I went after the medical. So when I say that ours is different, it should look like this. If it doesn't look like this, it's not the real medicine.
But is that a clear glass, Jonah?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. It's not a dark glass. Oh,
no, the whole thing is filled up. We call it the black gold.
How do you make it? I mean, how?
Very simple. I had a 28-acre farm in Kingston, North Carolina. We had 28 acres. I was out there cutting it a couple years ago, cutting down the hemp plants. You take it up, you grind everything, the roots, the leaves, the seeds, the stems.
Wow.
You do a cold press. You want the whole plant. And this is, again, what they don't sell in dispensaries. The whole plant, you compress, you do a cold press, and out comes this black gold, this black tar. That's what it is. It's the whole plant, the roots, the leaves, the stems, everything.
And you eat it, or you take a spoonful?
We make tinctures out of it. So you'll take drops, you take it under your tongue.
Okay.
And it activates your endocannabinoid system. And a lot of people don't know this, but when you feed a baby breast milk, what you're feeding the baby is cannabinoids. In mother's breast milk is THC, CBD. That's what's in mother's breast milk. This is why they don't want women breastfeeding, is because those cannabinoids in breast milk is feeding the baby's endocannabinoid system.
Well, this is starting to explain, you wonder why the body has cannabinoid receptors. I mean, it wasn't like God wanted us all to be high idiots all the time. So it had a totally, and they hid it from us. I always wondered why the government was okay with these medical marijuana clinics, because they want to, they want to use the abusive side of it. Yeah. Okay.
So
wow.
So they're like, here, get a card, go smoke. It helps with pain, and smoking does help with things. But listen, if I have an ailment, I want to fix what's going on with me. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can. So on this patent too, which is the second patent, you'll see here, this is the second patent, and you can't find this online anymore.
Are both of them, you can't find them, or just I have them?
No, they've scrubbed them. And if you can find them, they've changed what I'm showing you on the screen, because I have found the last patent, but they changed the abstract. They no longer say what I just said. They changed it.
The abstract that's in the red box.
Know this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take us through that again.
Patent, which is from 2013, is specifically for cancer. And this says breast cancer and colon cancer, that it helps with both of those. And again, you can't find this patent anymore. And I'm going to end with this. This is the last slide on here. And this is your endocannabinoid system. And you can see on this slide, it regulates your respiratory system, your renal system, your endocrine system. It regulates all your systems. So if you're not taking some form of cannabinoids, either breast milk or hemp oil like we have, you have neurodegenerative diseases that happen. If you haven't had breast milk or cannabinoids in 60, 70, 80 years, in that patent, it says that's why it reverses it. Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, those are all neurodegenerative diseases. And it is my belief, that it is because you're not getting cannabinoids, which cannabinoids are found in other plants too. It's not just the hemp plant. The hemp plant has everything. But that's
where
how
else?
important this is.
Where else?
Cardiovascular system,
Right.
everything.
You're going to get it more concentrated in this black gold, which is crushing everything from the hemp, most concentrated. What can you mention a few of the other plants that?
Sure. You're talking about rosemary has like CBG and kale.
Wow.
Yeah, all plants have cannabinoids in it. This again, they don't teach this in science. They don't teach this in school. And I used to fly around literally the world educating doctors, sometimes 70, 80 doctors at a time. I would educate them on the endocannabinoid system because they don't teach us in medical school. This is the greatest secret that we're talking about today, Dr. Jane, is your ECS, your endocannabinoid system, is responsible for regulating your lymphatic system, your digestive system. All your systems are run by cannabinoids. That's why it's important to breastfeed. And that's why it's important to have a full spectrum hemp product like we have. And they're not selling this in dispensaries. I'm telling you right now, just think about it. So what we have, the methylene blue and the full spectrum hemp oil is called the Quantum Protocol. It is what every family should have. Everyone should be taking it. And you don't have to take it every day. It's something you cycle off on. Take it for a month or two and then take a break for a little bit. Because when you're in homeostasis, as you know, Dr. Jane, homeostasis, you're in perfect balance. That's what this stuff does. It's really our to-go-to for any type of disease or ailment that we've experienced. That's our to-go-to. And people can call us and ask questions and contact us through the website. We're here to work with people. That's what we do as well. You actually talk to humans, not an AI robot, but you talk to us when you call. So, clean food and detoxing. That is what everyone should be focusing on right now. And in phase 2, which is building the community that we're doing, but you got to eat clean food. So definitely our grains, our non-GMO, everything we offer on our site, and detox. You should always be detoxing because, like everyone else watching this, we're getting poisoned from the land, the sea, and the air. We're under attack. That's for sure. The good news is that these 2 supplements, the hemp oil that we have in the blue, are your top supplements I have found anywhere in the world to detox yourself. And for the nano stuff, that's important too. What detoxes the nano, the stuff they're spraying, and the graphene oxide? It's the blue. That's why it's super important. So be really, really vigilant, in learning this stuff so you can educate your family. Like, we're word of mouth. We don't do Instagram. We don't do Facebook. We do shows like yours, and we do word of mouth. So please, everyone, get this video, support Dr. Jane, what she's doing, because we need people like you, Dr. Jane, to get the word out about this stuff. Because we've been talking for years about the blood clots and what's been happening. These are the 2 supplements that can help with that. Super, super important. It's you can talk about the problem. We're talking about the solution today.
Yeah.
How to stay healthy, how to stay in homeostasis, and how to beat some ailments and disease. These are 2 supplements that can help aid in doing so. Super, super important.
Yeah, I like it is actually a holistic approach. It's not just, hey, you've got a safe place to get clean food that you won't, be adding to the toxicity. But you made a really important point, and I appreciate it so much, that really this is not a one-off detox. Whether you're jabbed or not, we're all subject to being attacked from the air, the water, and our food in the United States, for sure, which is why you've sourced. And it's funny because when I first heard that you were sourcing some, like the rice and some of the grains from Turkey, and you explained to me that, hey, this is a country in particular that bans all of glyphosate, which is Roundup, and everything doesn't. Every country has some corruption, but they didn't allow themselves to take the corruption in the food. And you can see the difference between the United States ingredients, that the things that they've allowed and that these other countries do not. So this isn't, we're bombarded every day. And the point you made that I want to come full circle back to is detoxing has to be a regular event. Not like you said, you don't have to be crazy every single day. You can cycle through it, but you should always be trying to clean it out. Again, whether you're jabbed or not, none of us knows really how much we're absorbing, and everybody's different, but we should be focused on it now, which is part of going back to the theme of the show. Taking control of your own health is learning things like you just laid out, Jonah. So I don't know if you want to say a little more about that, and also Yeah,
An important
please.
thing to say too is stay away from titanium dioxide. It's in everything now. It is a nanotechnology that they're putting in everything from toothpaste, cleaning supplies. I've seen it all over the last few years. Stay away from it. I did a whole video on YouTube talking about the background of what that is. It's a nanotechnology. It's a self-assembling, graphene technology. Stay away from titanium dioxide. If you see that in any type of food or anything like that, do not ingest it. Do not take it. So there's things like that. I couldn't even find out who makes the stuff that they're putting in. You look at Kellogg's and cereals they have in the store, almost everything has titanium dioxide in it right now.
Yeah.
I couldn't even find out who's making it for those companies. They're hiding this stuff from us, Dr. Jane.
Wow.
So
Well,
yeah, so that's a big ingredient. Stay the heck away from titanium dioxide. That's one you do not want to be ingesting. And this is why we started the co-op, because we just don't trust ingredients anymore. We don't trust the labels. I mean, you have to just know where your food's coming from.
Yeah.
So you got to eat clean and you got to keep detoxing. So
Yeah.
all the supplements on our site are all the stuff that we take as a family. Another good one too, just to mention, is the CMOS. The CMOS has 92 out of 102 needed vitamins and minerals for the body.
I've seen that a lot lately.
Yes, it's getting popular, and everyone should be taking CMOS. Also, the phytoplankton we have, which is the building blocks of the ocean, is the highest density green you could take. I mean, it's what is the building blocks of all life in the oceans, phytoplankton. So there's not a lot of stuff we take. We don't take like 100 things a day, but we have our choice supplements that we take. And those are the ones that we offer people. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just take it, one by one by one, and you build.
Okay. And titanium dioxide, that sounds like, is it also in sunscreen?
Yeah.
I thought so. It sounded familiar.
I've seen it in sunscreen. I've seen it in foods. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Commercial sunscreen is really damaging, and people should look twice at that. Jonah, before we go, and we have to wrap up, unfortunately, it goes so fast, but you'll be back.
Yeah.
The slides you walked us through, and I apologize for this. We could probably get into a few of them in a little more depth in a future show, but I'm glad we got them out for everybody to see. They can screenshot, they can pause, but you are still building out the website quantumcollective.world. Will we be able to find those slides on the websites? People want to pour through them?
Yes. So there's going to be a research tab, which should be up any day now. And on that research tab on the site, we're going to have all the reports, and all the stuff that I mentioned here today will be a downloadable PDF or a PNG file. So look for that in the next few days. Whenever you post this, it should be up within the next week or so.
Okay.
A lot of people have been asking for it, and absolutely want to show people the research so they could send this to their family and friends, because that's a lot of, like my family would say, is like, show me the proof, show me the research.
Right. Go to the research tab.
The slides today, because that's the research.
Okay. Thank you so much for the generosity of your time, spreading this word into humanity. Really, really appreciate everything you do, and I'm so glad to be a part of it with you.
Thank you, Dr. Ruby. You're doing great work, and we support you, and thank you and all your listeners out there, because this is it. Name of the game: eat clean food and detox, and spread the word of mouth. So get this video out there to your friends and family.
And it's Loxahatchee, or LOX co-op, COOP.com.
Correct.
Okay. And then quantumcollective.world. Both websites are rich with information and capability. Call Jonah if you've got questions. In 6 months, he's not going to be able to take all the phone calls. So
that's all right.
He's going to try. I know you're going to try.
Yes.
So, all right, Jonah, thanks again for being with us. And that's it for this edition of the Dr. Jane Ruby Show. I'm bringing you solutions, experts with solutions, not just the bad news and the truth in medicine and all that. So thanks for being with me, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning for Coffee Chat. Wow.